Hello guys, welcome back. This is the Daily Grind. This is DC Legends. I'm Sethonan here. And today we have the hands-on Mary Marvel. What's the review on Mary Marvel? Um, I'm pretty torn because she's very fun to use. But sadly, she lacks any ability to break into the meta by herself. However, I have found that she is very fun to use in meter control compositions because of this. Her basic doesn't have any conditional to apply 20 turn meter down, and it's a pretty cheap upgrade that is not tied to the last upgrade of the move. And her passive has a chance, 80% chance, but you have to have this maxed out and requires level 64, 80% chance to gain one speed up at the end of each teammate's turn, and an equal chance of applying 10% meter down to a random enemy, which I have discovered is not really random. It's most of the time it's the enemy that the ally has attacked. So you can slot her on control compositions. Sadly, she doesn't have any can't miss, and she doesn't have any purge moves. And that's a shame because lately what you want for a character is to have any kind of purge ability or at least some cleansing ability for your own team. But she's pretty cool. I can see her working on meter control compositions, like for example with Harley Quite Vexing. If she gets called uh, with her number 2 move or number 3, where she points at the enemy with a hammer or the bat, and she puts meter down on the enemy, and puts agility down, and puts some affinity down on the enemy. Then you can score a neat over 50% meter down from Mary Marvel. Because if she attacks twice, that's a free 40% off the enemy. And I have been testing her. Her damage is not very good with any of her moves, but it's free. She is not hindered by silence, only from stun. She is pretty fast, and she gets faster as the round continues. I'm suspecting she ends up. This is 90, 102. She's a bit above 110 speed, judging from her gears. So she is not slow, and she gets free speed ups from her AoE and the passive. Every time an ally takes a turn, she pretty much every round gets a speed up. So from a single round, that's 3 speed ups that lasts 2 rounds. So she at one point in time can get up to 6 speed ups on herself, by herself, just from existing. And she will be taking meter off the enemy, so that's where she shines. I have found a composition that is very fun to use, doesn't need a lot of I already played this one, yeah, because I was recording. Um, that gives a lot of out of turn attacks. I'm just gonna try this one. Well, let me burn some time to actually try the last node of the Captain Marvel Jr. event. Um, she's gonna shine in call assist compositions, but is she meta worthy? I don't think so. Unless you are one of the guys that stays low gear and gets easy fights versus non-meta teams for your Wraith Arena PvP, then she's gonna be very useful. But at high level, high gear fights, I don't see her getting slaughtered that much. The 20 meter is nice, but her damage, even though it is special damage on her basic, is very low. She's gonna need an outside buffer to give her intelligence ups. And the ones we have are not really meta. I mean, you have Dr. Fate, but that's only 3 intelligence ups. And you have Gorilla Growth, and that's, I think, also 3 int ups for the team, but has a passive that generates extra intelligence ups. But even with her upgrade on the basic, I don't see that happening. I don't see Mary Marvel breaking into top 100 and being a contributor. This is the team I'm talking about. Enchantress is gear 8 for me, Freeze is gear 10, Marvel is gear 9, and so is Black Lightning. So let's see if I can tackle the last node. This one is pretty fun. You have 2 meter control tunes in Freeze and Mary Marvel, and you have self-sustaining heals from Enchantress and Black Lightning. The next to last node was pretty easy. Let me take this off auto because the computer doesn't play very well. So what you have to do is this: trigger Enchantress to put strength downs on the enemy, and then with Mary Marvel you start taking meter off the other guys, and you bring everybody to attack Mr. Freeze. And then you just keep stacking the overheals and hoping that the Enchantress will trigger her passive. And occasionally with Mary Marvel you give speed ups to the whole team so everybody's faster. And this is the thing with this composition: meter down and heals. Just for kicks, let me try this. Because the damage Mary Marvel does is not very high. Even with intelligence ups, even versus her affinity advantage, she doesn't do much. So the upgrade on her basic you can pretty much skip if you only got her to Legendary 1, because it's mostly worthless. I will go with that upgrade that gives her speed ups for the whole team. This, her AoE, and even that, it's not a very hard hitting move. as you can see. She just doesn't do enough damage, but you can at least control some of the fight, combining the meter down from her and from Mr. Freeze. You want your reds in check. Like that. This is a pretty fun team to use. I have been having a lot of fun playing this. But since all the characters are less than Gear 11, I can't really assess how this performs on PvP. But it's a pretty slow team, all things said. Well, once you get going, all those slowdowns and meter down let you take control of the fight. Like this. So if you were looking for a composition that allowed you to tackle this event, I suspect that having Mr. Freeze Gear 9 would not make a lot of difference at this point. You just need him to survive the first round, pretty much. Because after that you just keep spamming the strength downs, and since they don't take turns, they get pretty much nerfed. Like that. The damage ability is down now. And Mary Marvel just keeps taking meter off along with Mr. Freeze, so the enemy doesn't take turns. And Black Lightning softens everybody up for everybody else, because this team is all special damage. So maybe later I will try, and I mean that's like 2 or 3 months down the road, I will try to take this whole team to Gear 11 to see how he performs. I need to control Black Adam first. Because he can kill Mr. Freeze. It's already happened. So now I just have to focus fire on Freeze. And maybe give some speed ups to my team. Just want to keep Black Adam in check. Because if he gets a kill, he gets out of control. I just want him slow and nice. Like this. That should be enough. Let's give everybody else speed ups. I mean, Black Adam, it's already controlled completely. And you. Yeah, pretty much frozen in time already. And Black Adam is no more. How did I miss? Overhealed, baby. Yeah, you can see that the Gear 9 Mary Marvel is not doing much damage-wise. So, if you don't need that for some reason, but you want a control toon, she's your go-to now. I mean, look at this. You. Well, now I have to focus fire on somebody, on whoever. You are the chosen one. And the upgrade on her basic is just 80% more damage. So you do the math. Check this out. That's 6 int downs on this enemy, and that's just 3000. So even with 80% more, that's not going to be much. Yeah, that's the thing. If you ever wanted to see a low level gear and low level characters run from me, this is your chance. The only gear 10 is Mr. Freeze, and that wouldn't have made any difference in the outcome of this fight. Yes, that guy is never gonna take a turn. This is a full control composition that I would love to be able to use on PvP consistently. The sad part is none of these guys has can't miss. So versus Batgirl, it's a full no-no. No more battles. So, my final review on Mary Marvel. Useful character, fun to use, but she is not worthy, in my eyes, of Gear 11. Not if you have limited resources. However, if she is one of your few legendary characters, like if you were able to take her to legendary 1 at least after Siege, or you will be able to bring her to legendary 1 after her PvP week, or if you can get her to legendary 2, I I took this one just to see how it works. It procs, but it's not really worth it to have a skill that you need one character to die just to use this, because her AoE is not a hard hitting move. It's going to do nothing for you if you use it. You only get the speed ups, and that's 2 speed ups after using this. This one procs this. And even if you had the int ups per enemy alive, this is not going to bring her damage up enough for it to matter. It's special damage, all of her moves, but it's just not worth it. Really not. I would only use her for the turn meter down. I would recommend, if you only have one single legendary upgrade, to get this, the Gift of Mercury. Why? Because even if it's just 10% meter off after every ally turn, that's enough to throw the fight order in disarray to your advantage, especially if you bring any other character like Freeze that can meter control. That's extra meter. That's a lot of meter. Everything else, they will need to nerf a lot of tunes for her to be worth it. Like, I don't know if somebody else wants to try or has the patience to do a test run with, but I don't have him. You will have to pair her with Dr. Fate to get these 3 intelligence ups, and you will have to get Gorilla Growth, because I don't know if anybody else gives intelligence ups, but Gorilla Growth does. Like with the Psychic Leader, int up to all allies. That's 2 intelligence ups to all allies. And these 2 is dependent on an ally dying. So yeah, you will have to get Gorilla Growth and Dr. Fate to pump her 5 intelligence ups, and then maybe use Ivy to copy the buffs twice just to see if that improves anything, but that's a very slow team that is not going to survive on PvP. Because who else? I think Satana gives intelligence ups. I'm not sure. Gain turn meter when they debuff. Or maybe using Satana to give intelligence downs to enemies. But again, this is a very, very slow team with no protection. But I just don't see Mary Marvel one-shotting anybody, even if the conditions are right. So yeah, for damage alone, no. But how I will rate the Marvel family, well, definitely Black Adam first, and uh, Mary Marvel second, above Captain Marvel, because she has meter down, and meter down it's a very very powerful tool. That's 20% meter down. If you can slot her in call assist compositions, or somebody that gives her meter so she can attack more, like maybe Steppenwolf. Yeah, I could see that happening, but she definitely is not going to shape the meta. So I will gear her. I'm gonna gear her to 10 next week, just for the event for Jay Garrick, because she's gonna get twice the HP, double HP, and extra damage for that event. So that will be it. Good character, fun character to use, but is not meta worthy. I sincerely hope somebody shuts my mouth and designs a team that showcases Mary Marvel as the center of that team and turns her into a credible threat. But so far, I'm not seeing that. I'm really not seeing that. But definitely fun to use, and she is going to shine bright on PvE. Because trust me, next heroic challenge we get, I'm running this team I just showed to you. I'm gonna run that the whole event with everybody on gear 10, just to see how it performs. And that's that. Thank you for your time. I enjoy making these videos, even if I don't make a lot of videos throughout the month. But I certainly enjoy making them for you. I hope that somebody finds this useful. I've received personal notes on both the channel and Reddit, uh, from people that have followed my newbie videos, and they have found them helpful. That's what drives me to keep making them, because some people are finding them useful, especially the newer free players, because believe it or not, we are still getting new players. I just don't want them to quit before they give the game a fair chance, because that's the audience for my videos. These are not really for high level players. These are for people that are starting out and they want to know, or they need to know, if a certain character is going to be helpful down the road. So that's my take on Mary Marvel. Gear her up just enough for the Jay Garrick event, because once you reach gear 10 with her, and she's probably gonna be useful too on Red Alerts, but less so than many other characters. But she can at least help you get shards for Jay Garrick, and that's always a plus. Whenever you can get a new character to legendary level, you will do better on the following month event, and you will get better characters. Remember, keep this in mind. The current meta is 80% free characters. Atrocitus, both Wonder Girls, Donna and Cassie, and who else? Etrigan was also a free monsoon. Power Girl was a free monsoon, and perhaps the only hard paywall, so to speak, because she got a heroic challenge that I missed on purpose, because I didn't think she would be very helpful, and I'm still not interested in her. Bad Girl used to be hard paywall, but she got a heroic challenge, and now you will be able, or you could have been able, to have her for free to whatever legendary level you want. Legendary 4, legendary 5, even if you started from nothing, and she's gotten PvP weeks and sales and whatnot, so you could have gotten her for free. So there's that. Deadshot is a free toon. It just takes time to farm his shards from Red Alert, but it's a free toon. This game is very, very nice to free players. Clayface once was a meta character, was also a free toon. Penguin has become very useful, even if you don't see a lot of him because he's complicated to use. He's not plug and play like the other characters I just named. Who else can be considered meta? Kind of Captain Marvel. Well, Black Adam, if you have the patience to farm Black Adam, and he's likely to be the heroic challenge for next month, even though I can very much see a repeat of Captain Marvel, Shazam. You will have a chance next month. Very likely that Black Adam is going to be the heroic challenge. So there you go. You will be able to get one of the current top meta characters for free completely. So yeah, Mary Marvel is not a full letdown. It's not Superboy levels of suckiness, or Sinestro or Blue Beetle, but she is very fun to use, and she's going to be a feature character next week for the 5 points on the Alliance missions. So if you don't want to gear her up completely, you can pretty much stop at gear 8 just to have her survive the PvP encounters, and dominate the PvE, which is usually not very difficult. But she has her uses, even if she's only going to be useful for next month's event, because you are going to go against the Speedster, Jay Garrick. That's enough guarantee to warrant at least a gear 8. So, thank you all for your time. We'll be seeing each other. Remember, this is the Daily Grind. We'll see each other next time. And in the meantime, keep grinding up. Remember to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I can improve this channel. I just need some pointers. See you.